Strip your gear, have no fear. Auto expert Barry Wilson is here.
We're going to create a little spark here at Good Day. We do that all the time. Barry Wilson from Wilson Auto Repair in Garland. And a lot of people may not understand that what's going on inside your car is a series of explosions.
Exactly. We put fuel in with the fuel injector. We talked about that a little bit last week. And then we blow it up with a spark plug. But since there are 6 cylinders or 8 cylinders in an engine, we have to know exactly when this spark plug needs to blow up the gas in that cylinder.
Right.
So using this engine as an example, when the crankshaft turns down here, this crankshaft sensor interfaces right here and counts notches down here. As it sees those notches, it knows which spark plug to fire. AC Delco loaned me this little mock-up board here, and you can see if this were the crankshaft sensor that I just showed, or the pulley that's turning, you can see the notches down there, and you can see one of them actually has 2, and I'm not sure that I can see that. There it is right there. That indexes the number 1 cylinder.
Right.
Now when you turn that on and it's turning, this crankshaft sensor that I showed actually generates a pulse that goes up through these components and through the coils, out through the spark plug wires, and then actually makes the spark plugs fire.
In series.
In series,
yeah.
at the right time. It actually did away with the distributor and some of the points and condensers and some of the things that we're all kind of familiar with in terms of parts.
Okay. Very cool little explainer there. Thank you. Hey, let's go to, get your phone call. Let's go to Rich in Fort Worth. How can Barry Wilson help you today?
Yes, sir. I've got a 95 Dodge Intrepid, and whenever I brake, I've got a vibration in the left front wheel and the brake pedal, and I've replaced the hub bearing assembly.
Okay. I didn't hear that real clearly, but whenever you brake, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. When you brake, you actually squeeze this brake rotor to stop the car. And brake rotors have a tendency, if they're not true, as we call it, they haven't been machined, they tend to wobble a little bit, just like this when you're braking. And you feel that impulse all the way up through the brake pads and into your brake pedal. Sometimes you have to replace this. When you do replace it, you want to have it remachined. But that's probably where your vibration's coming from when you're braking.
All right, that would be a good fix. Shauna in Pleasant Grove, you're on with Barry. What's your question this morning?
Hi, Barry. I have a 95 Ford Escort, and when I crank it up and I put it in drive, it gets like a shake, and I would like to know what could that be?
Well, anytime you get a car that shakes when it's in drive and the engine's running smoothly, and that's something that you need to determine. I couldn't actually help you with that on TV, but generally you'll get a shake that'll cause the dash to vibrate. That type of shake is the mounts that hold the motor in. They actually collapse, allowing the motor to kind of sink down on the frame, and then that vibration is transmitted from this frame all the way up into the dash. And if that's the kind of vibration you feel, you probably need to have someone check your motor mounts.
Because those over time will just deteriorate.
Yeah, they're made like a sandwich, and the rubber in the middle kind of deteriorates and then just wear out.
Okay, Tina in Paris, what's your question for Barry this morning?
I have a 96 Chevrolet S10 pickup. It has had transmission problems. The torque converter was replaced, and the same thing's still happening. It's kind of shaky when it's going down the road, and it didn't want to switch gears. Can you tell me what's wrong with it?
Well, did you have the transmission replaced along with the torque converter?
No.
Okay, then that would be the next thing that I would want to have checked. The torque converter transmits the power from the engine into the transmission. If it doesn't shift correctly, then it's generally something inside the transmission that's causing that problem, and you ought to take it to a transmission shop and have them look at it. Transmissions are not generally repairable. You have to actually replace them most of the time to